Hello, good evening, welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny, and for the next 2 hours, I will be sat here painting some miniatures, keeping you company while you get through your painting. This evening is going to be a slightly different show than normal. I don't know why you've asked this of me, but you have given me 200 subscribers after 5 years of hard work, and for a very long time you have been pestering me to bring my cats onto this live stream. So you fulfilled your part of the bargain, so I fulfilled my part of the bargain. You can see that the workshop looks slightly different. I've had to sort out some of my storage in the back over there, lifting the veil literally so that you can see the hideous amounts of storage that I've got at the back of the studio there, because I know what is going to happen this evening. Well, to be fair, I don't know fully what's going to happen this evening. They might not even show up at all. What normally happens is just behind me over here, there's a door. Out of my two cats, the boy cat sits behind that door the whole evening and sits there and meows at me and wants to come in. But I guarantee, cats being cats, I'm going to open that and he's not going to come in at all this evening. I'm hoping to get some painting done. But what I think's going to happen is that the cats are going to make a beeline for behind here, which is why I've lifted it, and then they're going to chew stuff all evening. That's going to happen. The last time that they got in here, and they got in here, I didn't let them in, they got in, alright? The last time I could hear chewing sounds, and the girl cat was chewing the cables. That's on you, alright? You wanted this to happen. I'm going to let the cats in. I was thinking, do you know what? I might make them wait until after the halfway mark, but that might be a bit cruel, right? Anyway, let's try and get some semblance of the normal show back in place. This isn't a tutorial show or anything like that. There's loads of that stuff already out there. This is just a place where you can come along, make some friends, and paint your miniatures with a little bit of company, knowing that someone out there, like me, struggles as well, because I've got so much stuff that's unpainted because I'm a hoarder, not really a collector, and it's nice to have some company while you paint some stuff. So if that's the sort of thing that you're looking for, this show is definitely for you. It's very rough around the edges, and I apologise for being a little bit late today. Literally, as I pushed go, there was an update for the software, and I had to sit there and wait for that to kind of work. So I might have missed some things. There might be some differences beyond the felines raiding the studio today, and I apologise for that. If you are painting a project this evening, if you are doing something, do let me know. I'm genuinely interested in the projects that you're doing. They inspire me, they motivate me, and I enjoy the company when you guys talk about the stuff that you're doing. So come along and tell us. We're not just here on YouTube, we're on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and also on Discord. If you want to join me at the end of today's show, you can come along and join me over there. Join on a video chat or just a voice chat if you want to, or you can just type whatever you like. The conversation doesn't stop here at the end of today's show. I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm honest with you. I'm stimming already, and yeah, I know he's waiting outside, and I've already actually had to try and kick him out of the studio because I came in a minute ago changing over my paint water, and I had to trap him with my foot because he was about to launch all sorts of nasty in here. If you like what we do, this is not the regular service, but if you do like what we do here on the show, please do consider subscribing, because it's been a bit of a fight actually to get to 200. I said if you get me to 200 subscribers and it stays a stable number, then I'll bring the cats in. And just as predicted, the number went up to 200, and then it went down to 199. And then it went up to 201, and then to 200, and then to 199. And just literally earlier on today, about 3 hours before I went live, I put out a little call to arms saying that, can you do it? And within 15 minutes of the show going live, back up to 201. So we've had 2 subscribers. So maybe this air of desperation is exactly what we need to get the community to grow. But of course, if you haven't done already, by subscribing, you help that community grow. You bring people together and share in the wonderful hobby that we all love. And cats. They don't love the hobby, they want to destroy everything, which is why I'm nervous today. Anyway, who have we got in the live chat this evening? Just going to have a little look back over. We've got Crumbs, we've got Shiv from Table of Horrors. Hi guys, how are you doing? Sorry that I'm late. We've got Overlord Game Store, that's Grant from Overlord. Some exciting news on Overlord coming this way. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it this evening, but I just kind of want to whet everyone's appetites. Grant can give me the go-ahead if we could talk about it. But I'm very excited about the stuff that's literally just around the corner in the pipeline for Overlord, and it's very, very exciting. We've also got Katie. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie's my partner, who is currently in London right now, and was very upset to discover that she was going to miss the evening where the cats are allowed in the studio. So here we go. And there's also Geoff, who's my dad, who's always in the live chat. Hi, Dad. So, where are the cats? The pact is complete. Yes. So what do we get when you get to 500 subs? Do you know what? Earlier on, I was wondering what the next milestone will be. 200 is a big deal for me. You know, I'm a small bit YouTuber who is more of a hobby that kind of gets another hobby going. But it's picking up speed, it's picking up traction, isn't it? And the next milestone's got to be 500. Because 300 and 400 would be too easy. That's just doubling what we've already got. But 500 is the next thing. So what do we do? I'll leave it up to you. Maybe I'll let wild animals into the studio. But that's what's going to happen this evening. Anyway, I just don't know what to do because I'm just going to eat everything. The project that I'm painting this evening, carrying on from the last couple of weeks, I've got 4 little miniatures here. The SAS White team from the Iranian Embassy, 1980, and I'm hoping. Do you know what? If it wasn't for the cats coming tonight, I might actually get these guys done. But I don't think it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of me diving into different recesses of the studio. I've had a bit of a tidy up, kind of pulled some things out from, you know, corners and nookies and crannies and whatever, but they just get there. Yeah, you did this to me. I'm gonna open the door now, all right? Well, I can tell you that he sat outside and he's just looking at me. So any given minute, he's probably going to come on in. You can come in, mate, if you want to. He sat there looking a little bit sheepish, a bit nervous. Maybe he's got a bit of stage fright. Maybe he doesn't want to come on the show. But you can come in, mate. Come on. See? You can never predict what an animal's going to do. They always say if you're working on a stage, don't work with children or animals. Oh, here he is. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Dax. He is the boy cat. He is the brother. He's my little champion. And he's also wearing the Easy 8 colours. So this is him. There you go. His sister is currently downstairs somewhere. Going to get cat fur and everything today. He's been itching to come in here for years. I made it in time for the cat, says Staff. Hi, Staff. How you doing, mate? Yeah, he's literally just come in. How you doing, pal? You okay? Don't show the world your cat bum. No one needs to see that. There we go. Just going to let him go and be his thing. So, yeah. Straight into the corner. Have a little look around over there. If you see fire, sparks, chewing, anything like that, yeah, let us know. Oh, just going to have a good explore. I'm just going to let him be. I'm just going to let him go. I might take my headphones off in a minute just so that I can hear the mischief, because these are noise cancelling headphones. I wear them during the show so that I can listen to audio cues. And I'm one of those people that I've got to be able to hear my own voice looping through when I'm talking. But I might save myself the hassle. You know? Anyway, what I just saw some comments going in there. Gloss over it. We want cats. Are they sock cats or tuxedo cats? He's definitely a tuxedo cat and she's a calico cat. You can definitely see that they're related, but the colours are different. He's a proper little champion. She's a little tubs. Bless her. Overlord Games Store says 500 subs, Easy 8 live stream from Overlord Games' new store. A 12-hour stream. That's definitely something that we can do if you think you can handle me there for 12 hours. What are you doing, pal? You okay? It's not normally allowed in here, so he's having a good old sniff around. I love him and I would die protecting him. Yeah, he is a little champion. He doesn't really like the cuddles very much. If you cuddle him, he will hiss at you. Please don't eat that. Don't touch that either. In fact, just leave that alone, mate. Yeah? Thanks, pal. Oh no, don't go in there. Don't go in there. Oh, he's gone in there. I didn't shut the door to the eaves of the attic. My life is over. Well, he's never coming out. Right, let's get on with some painting then, shall we? Yeah, I've lost him to the depths of the house. He has never been in there. You did this to me. Okay, cool. Crumb says, cat fare is like glitter, the gift that keeps on giving. There's nothing like glitter. Glitter's at least sparkly. Everyone at work just comments on how much cat fare I've got on me all the time. Anyway, let's move away from here. Please subscribe to my show. I'm gonna, yeah. I need 1,000. I need to generate a second income to repair the damage from these guys. If he wheezes in there, it's on you. Okay, here we go. Don't stay in there, pal. Come on out, please. Yeah, it's carnage. It's carnage. Oh, narrator's voice. And that cat lived in the walls of the house for 30 years. They never did figure out what he was eating. Yeah, probably the old homeless man. Cool. So, I'm very close to finishing these miniatures, and I'm very excited about them. What I did at the end of last week's show, when we went to Discord, just neatened them up, tightened them up, and I gave them a quick coat of varnish. I gave them a little blast of... I can see movement in the darkness. Yeah, you're never seeing him again until food time. He's just eaten. He does not care. He is having the time of his life right now. Bless his little cotton socks. We'll keep on cutting back to him. If he pops out, we'll come away from the workbench. We'll keep on popping out. His sister's not in here yet, and she's the one I definitely want to keep out of there. My problem now, right? Yeah, I put some satin varnish on these guys because I wanted to be able to see where the varnish was. And the problem with matte varnish, which is my preference always, is when you spray it on, it's very difficult to see where it is, and they're quite small, dark miniatures. So by applying a satin varnish, it would there'd be like a glossiness with there, so I could always see where they were gonna, where it was varnished. So I found that over the last couple of days, I've just kind of been playing around with some little ideas and colours and whatever on this guy here. I was just highlighting the edges of him, and you can see already that the light is extremely shiny off of him, and it's making it very difficult to determine where I want to put those little highlights, if any, really. So the first thing that I really need to do is to fire up the old airbrush and just get a very quick blast of matte varnish on there, just to protect the models moving forwards from handling them, etc., but also so that I can actually see where it is that I'm supposed to be varnishing. I've got this little turntable here. I've had this for a year now, and the other week was the first time I've ever used it. So yeah, beware the tank eater. Tell everybody about the tank eater, Stafford, because they need to know, because it's going to happen, isn't it? Oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Right, matte varnish, here we go. Some matte varnish. Don't know why I shake that, doesn't need to shake it. I haven't actually cleaned out the airbrush from last week, and while I was waiting for the software to update, I did just take it apart very quickly, but I didn't pump any cleaner through it. So before we get started, just literally lubricate up the needle there and just get a little bit of cleaner through it. I don't really care about accuracy with the cleaner. Sorry, not with the cleaner, with the varnish. I want varnish to come out, and that's literally it. So I can put that cleaner away. I'll give it a proper good clean later. In fact, do you know what? Join me at the end of the show on Discord to remind me to clean my airbrush, please. Right, I'm going to need a couple of drops of this. Oh, big snot bubble there coming out the varnish. Oh, 2 big snot bubbles. Oh, 3! What a treat today has been. Just get a couple of drops in there like that. Lovely. And one of the few things that I actually use airbrush thinner for is the varnish. It stops it from being so aggressive, clingy, and it makes it go that little bit further. Oh, he's out! He's out! Shut the eaves! Shut the eaves! Whew. Lock the door! Oh, there's 2 rules I've broken today. I've let the cats in, and I got out of the chair. You okay, mate? Sniff the computer. Don't put your face in there, mate. You'll get a face full of fans. Honestly, mate. Don't do it. You done? No, he's going to go under the table. He's still with us. It's alright though, it's a bad brush. The one I use for mixing everything in the airbrush. Cool. And now, hopefully, because... What are you doing? Where have you gone? He's behind the camera. The girl cat will literally steal your tanks from inside your case and leg it with the tank in her mouth. Yep. He's a very handsome cat, must be said. Do you know what? It's not the first time someone said that today. Yeah, the old man came up. Geoff in the live chat came up to look after him today because I was at work for 27 hours today while Katie is in London. So he came and looked after him and said, your cats are very healthy and happy. Yeah, I've shut the door, pal. You can't go in there. It's like having someone else in the studio, but he's just ignoring everything I say. At least back in the early days of Easy 8, I had Kyle who would talk to me. He just... I've let you in the studio, pal. You can't go in there. Oh, we're digging now? Okay, cool. He really wants to get in there. So what I was saying, just like the satin varnish allowing me to see where I've sprayed the varnish to on the unvarnished model, matte varnish will allow me to see it on the shiny model. It doesn't have to be a perfect varnish right now, just literally just trying to kill off the shininess that the semi gloss has done. Basically, it's very hard to work with, and I know that you're not really experiencing an awful lot right now because it just looks like someone's moving some models around very quickly, but they're just sat on a turntable just so I can move them around nice and quick without handling them too much. I just want to get a very quick coat on them so then I can start handling them again. And I can see already that has made a world of difference. That is going to speed my painting up. Now this evening, the colours that I'm going to be painting, I'm really just looking at highlighting some of the dark grey that I've put on there. And just to kind of give them a little bit of variety in their colours. I've had green, dark grey and black. Now most of the SAS stuff is just mostly black. If you look at the reference material that I was using, you can see that there are some incredibly dark greys that are essentially black, but they stand out from the black by being dark grey. There's some very dark green, but if you were to blink or look from a distance, it would all look black. I wanted to give these miniatures for a game a little bit of variety and something interesting to look at rather than it just being a bit dull. So I want the black to stand out from the grey. And I was just trying to highlight the edges a little bit the other day, but I was using a too light a grey. I think that the reason I did that light grey is because it was very difficult to see that highlight colour with the glossy varnish that I put on there. And I'm hoping that now that I've matted them down, it's going to be much easier to see where I'm going to be highlighting, and I'm going to use a slightly darker grey because if I'm honest, the light grey is not working for me. Oh, we're climbing now. Okay, please don't climb up there. It's a skylight window. You can't get out there. He really wants to get in that cupboard. Yeah, so all I'm really doing today is putting the black on there, highlighting it a little bit, maybe with the light grey ever so slightly so the details stand out, and putting a dark grey highlight on the dark grey. Now what I'm going to do for that, as you can see on these miniatures, their vests basically are dark grey. You okay, pal? The dark grey is made a little bit darker by me putting a very, very dark grey filter on the top. So if I use that original colour, it might just show through. We'll find out. And then it's masks, bases and guns, and that's it really. I'm just literally using the last of the varnish in the airbrush. I've got it in there, so I might as well. It'll be a protective layer if anything. Yep. That I've got all of those little undercrofts. What are you doing, pal? You okay? It's getting all lit up by the lights down there. I can just see shadows at the corner of my eye. My old cat, Newt, back in the early days of Easy 8, She was much older, and I rescued her personally as a stray cat in the local car park. She didn't have a home. I brought her home, and she was my best friend. She was lovely, and I miss her dearly. She died a few years ago, and it broke my heart. And she was one of those cats that was just grateful to be in your company, but she'd sit on the side and just have a nap. So I had a little camping chair. If I was sat at my PC, which is just behind where my head is now, I sit there playing games, or I'd sit here doing some painting, and I'd sit in the camping chair beside me, and she would just sit there, just go to sleep, and she'd be in and out, and she wouldn't be up to mischief, mostly. These guys are young, and I mean, they must be about 4 years old. He's just chilling out now. She's sat down there. You happy? He's happy. But these guys, they like mischief. They definitely embody the curious cat concept. Anyway, let's just wash this airbrush. Hop her out a minute. Oh, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. The girl cat has entered the room. When she comes over in a second, I'll grab her as well. Put a camera on the cat. We can see inside the walls. If they ever get to the point in their lives where they can settle down a little bit, I will have cat cam. What I was about to go on and say is that my old cat Newt, I could have just put a camera on her, and you could have just like had me in the top corner and her in the other corner, and then that would have been okay, right? But yeah, these guys, they move around too much. What I can do, for those of you that are interested. Oh yeah, she's digging. What are you digging for? Come over here, you. Come here. Or stare at me, sure. What I can do is I could do like a little live video feed to Facebook while we're on the show, so you can see them. That's a box, please don't eat it. I've had to make sure that all elastic bands are removed from the room as well, because she eats them. She can't help herself. If it's wrapped around the box, she'll twang it all day until it breaks, and then she'll eat it. I've had to pull them out of her mouth before. You cannot have elastic bands in this house unattended. It's just an airbrush, mate. You don't have to worry about it. I can see your eyes. Yeah. Come here. Come on. Not you. You stay there. You've been on camera. Come here. Change the camera angle so you can see her when she comes out. Come in. Acting a little bit nervous because normally when they come in, they get like kicked out straight away. Are you done? I thought you were leaving. Are you going to hang around for a bit? Okay, mate, that's fine. I'm that nervous. My mouth has gone dry because I don't know what they're going to do. Come here, you. This is the girl cat. This is Sister. Make sure I don't run over the boy cat. So this is Sister. This is Binker. And she looks very similar. She's got the same sort of patterns on her, but she's not black and white. She's got like, where the black patches are, they're like tabby. And she's a bit of a porky one. She's the lovely one. She's the one that's going to make friends with you. Sit on your lap when the friends come over. There's a little bit of cat fur flying around in the fan, and the boy cat is chasing it right now. He's loving it. Yeah. She's the one that's going to come and sit on your lap and be friends with you and whatever. The destroyer of tanks. Here you go, mate. You go down there. Bye. You okay, mate? No, you're going to get tangled up in the airbrush. You don't want that. I have to take the headphones off because I think she might be about ready to eat some cables. What are you doing, mate? Eating cables. Let's not eat the big cables, yeah? You come out over there for me. Thanks, mate. Cheers. She can't help herself. I don't know what it is about her. She's just like, yep, that's a cable. There could be a lot of voltage going through that. I'm going to eat that. That would be great. Thanks. What an idiot. Anyway, tea is going to be the only thing that's going to get me through this evening. And in the halfway show, of course, alcohol, naturally. You okay, mate? covered in cat fur. You can't see it on the camera, but I'm covered in cat fur. Great. So we varnish those. Now I was trying lots of different recipes for the black on them. The problem with black is it's very hard to shade because it's as dark as it's going to get. So where are you climbing? Don't get your feet trapped in there. That's a droid. You've done this to me. You can't go in there, mate. Please don't climb inside the 3D printer. Oh, gonna have a heart attack before I'm 43. You should do this every week. They're adorable. I would get nothing done. Black is very hard to shade because it's as dark as the object is going to get. So I've been toying around with using very, very dark greys, shading black. The objects that I'm painting are just too small, like little pouches, boots and gas masks and whatever. So I think really the only logical thing to do is to paint them black and just do like a grey highlight on them. If I take you back to the workbench, you can see here, now that they're not so shiny, is I've tried on this particular one to do like a bright highlight around the outside edges. It's worked. It certainly has made it stand out more than on this one here, but I just don't know if I like it, and it might be that it's just too bright. The colour that I used was Citadel's Eshin Grey. They make some really nice colours. While I don't think that the quality of their paints is as good as something like AK Interactive, they are really, there's a really, really good range, and I like them. Some paints are better than others, for sure. I like the colour of it. I put this down as a base. I put a very, very dark grey, the Basilicanum grey, wash over it. It really toned everything down. I applied that all over them. I've got cat hair everywhere. That's why I don't let him get cat hair everywhere. He's just chilling out by the door. He's happy to see that. Yeah, sorry mate, I've had to shut that. You can't go in there. Sorry mate. Oh, the cats have proven they are no trouble, so keep them on each show until the gold plaque. Do you know what? If I get a gold plaque, I'll just let them in all the time. You get me a gold plaque, between you and YouTube, you get me that, and they'll be allowed in it all the time. Yeah, that's the deal then. So, what I might just do is use this, the base colour that I used earlier, and I just might put that on as the highlight, because it's going to be lighter than the stained bit, the darkened bit, shaded. I'm going to give that a bit of a shade. So let's change the conversation a little bit. Let's try and move on positively. Grant at Overlord, watching right now. Hi Grant. Congratulations on your news, by the way. Are we allowed to talk about it? Because that's very exciting. It's obviously something that we could talk about. You're talking about something exciting there with the potential 500 subscribers to this YouTube channel. Are we allowed to talk about it? Is it something that we can talk about, that you want to talk about? Are you open to, you know, all of the thoughts from the community, etc.? There's only a few of us online right now, but we know that each video gets somewhere between 40 to 100 views each week. So, you know, you never know. You might get a lot of suggestions, advice. Yeah. But you might not be ready to talk about it entirely yet. You might not be ready for the public forum, and that is also fine. It's your thing. But I just, it's such an exciting thing. Right, I've just watered down a load of that Eshin Grey. It's a nice word to say that, Eshin Grey. You feeling okay, guys? You're being very well behaved. That's the corner I'm going to have to keep an eye on, isn't it? That's the power bank down there. Right. He's being as good as gold. That's wonderful news. Okay, let's just clean these brushes out. They're a little bit dry and crispy. I said I'm going to get nothing painted today. So, it looks unfinished, right? It looks like that the paint has receded away from the edges, leaving a brighter colour. So what I'm going to try and do is just get this darker grey. I've just going to go back over it. I haven't done it anywhere else on this model, and I've not done it on any other model, so I was just doing like a little test. I just wanted to see what it was like. I don't know, because it's so close to that original colour. I just don't think it's gonna do much, you know. Meow. You know what I mean? Boing. Well, this is going to happen a lot, innit? You want some limelight? You have a little walk over there? Yeah, for sure. Why not? Okay, cool. Please don't jump up there. Please don't eat that. It's literally a cat hair in my brush. Peekaboo, mate. It's a wall. What are you staring at? It's a hole in the plaster. It's not an animal. He loves a moth. It's not, mate. No. It's a lovely day outside. Why don't you go out there and play? No? Just making me nervous. That's all. Oh my goodness. Thanks for wobbling the table, pal. Love that. Cheers, mate. Sounds of eating. Oi, what are you doing? We found a paper bag. Okay, cool. It's only got stuff in it. No, it's not for you. This is going to be a really productive evening, guys. You know that, right? Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, just destroy the worktop, why don't you? Great, thanks. Yeah, it's a skylight window. You can't go out there. Oh, don't mind me. That's just expensive. Yeah. Move on. Just ever slightly out of shot as well, just so you can't see him. Thanks. Go on. Get down there. Off you go. This colour is not the right colour to be using here. It's not showing up adequately against the rest of the grey, even though it is slightly lighter than the filter that I put on it. It's not quite buttering the parsnips, so to speak. So I don't have a mid-grey. I do have a mid-grey, but it dried up. It just suddenly turned one day. I didn't leave the seal on it, whatever. I've tried to thin it, whatever, and it's just separated. It died. That would be Dawnstone. It's a nice colour grey. It might have been appropriate. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some Overlord Games there because it's really wet. Wet, like, you know, it's really runny. It's one for the airbrush. It might be a good one to just mix into the dark grey just a little bit, just to lighten it up. This was the colour that I used originally on the highlight, so somewhere between this and the dark grey is going to be the right highlight, right? Danny hovering by the litter tray, looking for that tiny model head that went missing. You're joking, but okay, I'll add one drop in, see what happens. Let's push this brush out. This entire evening is going to be just trying to avoid cats and finding the right colour paint. That actually has worked out quite well. That looks like a nice colour. Let's do that. I might add a little bit of... What are you doing? You can't climb up there, mate. It's literally the roof. She settled down. That's nice. That's good. I don't even know what I was saying. Alright, what was I going to do? Retarder medium. So this is a gel that you can put into your water-based paints that just stops them from drying up so quickly. It's quite thick and gloopy, and it's really effective. So I'm going to mix some of that in there. I'm actually adding a little bit more than I think I need because I found a nice little ratio of colour there, and I want it to last. I don't want it to go away. If I just leave that paint there while I'm painting one miniature, by the time I finish one, it'll be dried up. I'm going to add a little bit of water from the brush there, just to keep it moist. Let's see what happens. I do need to get some new brush soap actually, because I ran out of mine a long time ago, and my brushes could do with a really good clean. Okay, cool. Let's see what sort of colour this is. Now, the one thing I'm actually finding a little bit difficult on these miniatures is because they're like old style metal miniatures. That's a much better colour. Is that they're quite uneven on surfaces. That is not to dismiss the quality of them. I do like these little sculpts. I think they're very charming. I think they're very fun, and they're very nice, and they're good quality for what they are. But there is something to be said about the new modern plastic miniatures that you can get from. The obvious example here would be Citadel Games Workshop. You can't deny it. The monopoly that they have is one thing, but their quality is assured. Whether you like the models or not, they are very, very good. And when you're painting them, it's much easier. The surfaces are smoother. It's easier to paint them. Being an old-fashioned white metal miniature, these can be quite difficult to paint. And I seem to have changed my light angle today, and I'm struggling to get light in the right places. All I want to do is just bring a little bit of attention just to the edges of this grey armour. That's all I want to do. I don't want it to be an obvious thing, and obviously the brighter I go, the higher the contrast, the more obvious it is. I want it to be a medium transition between the colours, and I can assist that transition by having darker recesses, and you can see that between the green here and the grey that there is a black line, and that's where the when I put the filter colour on, that Games Workshop Basilicon and Grey, I made a wash out of it by adding water to the contrast paint. It filtered everything, but it's also going to run away into the recesses. I wanted that to happen on both sides of the coin. I wanted the filter more than anything, but I also wanted it to run into those corners because it would allow me to, you know, see where all the different details are. That contrast helps you spot those things, and I can further aid the contrast by adding even more black into those areas. So later on, if I think that I've done something to the miniature, I don't like what I've done, the contrast isn't so easy to see, I can come back in with a little bit of black stain, drop it into the recess, and hopefully bring more contrast to that area. Now you can see the black pouches around it here. That's actually a black contrast paint. I was trying all sorts of different techniques to make it stand out against the grey. And whilst the idea was right, it didn't actually. The idea was good, it wasn't right, that's probably a better way of saying it. It was a good idea, it didn't work. We settled down now? They're just chilling out, just lying down there. Can you see one right here? Is that a cat? Let's have a little look. Oh no, they're both hidden out of shot. I've got one right here, and they got one right over there. Sorry you can't see them. I told you this will happen. At least you got to see them. At least I got to introduce you to them. They're my friends. They're good company. After my old cat Newt passed away, I was heartbroken, and it was my partner that said, after a few months, we should get a couple more cats. I don't think I was really ready at the time, but it's astonishing how much company having an animal in the house brings. You don't realise it until you've had that animal company, and then it's gone, and it's really quite sad. Cats are great. I love all animals. You know, I've worked with horses. I've been around dogs all my life, obviously, and some more obscure animals here and there. And yeah, I love them all. I don't necessarily agree that all animals should be domesticated. Cats and dogs are domesticated, aren't they? And that's their life. I don't really agree with keeping birds or reptiles and stuff. If you do, you do. It's none of my business. But personally, I don't think I'll ever be that sort of person. But I do love all animals. I think they're wonderful. And I'm a vegetarian, so if these guys mess up, at least they know they're not going to go in the air fry tonight, right? Right? Well, they're getting snoozy now. So one thing that I've learned doing this miniature here tonight is I'm not very good at edge highlighting. It's not something I normally do. I do it on my Games Workshop Tyrannies because it's the style that I've adopted. It's not really edge highlighting. It's more like false edges, like painting a pattern on the edges. It's quite good fun actually. It's a little time consuming. It looks well smart. But yeah, it's not. I don't do that sort of thing on every miniature I've ever painted. I think out of laziness, because it takes a bit of effort, as I'm finding out right here. And it's certainly better than the grey that I was using earlier on. It's not perfect, but I'm not the world's best painter. I just do it for funsies, and that's quite a tough miniature to paint. I think Boy Cat's gone. Yep, he's left the studio. See ya! There is a dog outside barking. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So we've got like chest armour, there's some tassets that hang down over the top of the thighs, like on the hips. There's also like a groin protector, and he's also got shin and knee pads on there as well. And I hope, looks like my lighting levels are a bit all over the place today. I don't really know why that is, but hopefully you can see that the edges seem a little bit highlighted, basically, all the way around. They're not so bright as they were earlier, and I like that. That's okay with me. The green on the screen does look a little brighter than what it is to the naked eye, but I wanted it to be discernibly green. I didn't want it to look like, is that green, is it black, is it grey? I wanted there to be an obvious thing of colour on there, and that's worked out really well. It's a shame that it's taken me nearly an hour to get that one miniature done, but you know, you did this to me. Just saying. Just going over some of the Comments in here, Geoff saying it's the model show this Sunday. It is. Those of you that are interested and live in the local area to where I am, a few of us in the live chat are, the North Devon Model Show is going to be this coming Sunday. It's £4 entry at Park Community College. Easy 8 went there last year, and it was very different from the normal sort of model show. It was less of a traders event. There were traders there, but it was less of a traders event and more just people showing what they make. And there was less Wargame stuff there than what I'm used to seeing, and there was certainly more just general hobby miniatures and RC things, etc. I need to use my clamp, I've got shaky hands. And it was a real nice departure from the norm. I really enjoyed it. It was great to see it all there. I'm just unable to make it there this year. I am working on that day. Work has been particularly stressful this year, and I've got it's right at the end of our busy period now, and there's like review days and stuff going on where me and the rest of the management team are going to be looking at performances over the past few months especially, and I need to be a part of those conversations. So yes, I will not be able to make it, I'm afraid. That is it's not. What are you eating? Stop it. Thank you. That's not to say that Easy 8 isn't going, because I do know that there are a few of the inner council of Easy 8 that will be attending there. You will not miss them. So if you do attend the North Devon Model Show, go and say hi. The Easy 8 team will be obvious to find. There you go, Dave, Kes and I are going. So, yeah. Do go. If you are interested in going, do go, because it's a good show, and it's very different from everything else. Nice to see different. You okay? Your turn to have a little look around up there. You can jump up there, it's fine, go on. Don't normally let her in, so she's looking a little bit like, oh, can I? Yeah, you can go up there, it's fine. Go check out the PC, why not? In mixing all this paint up, I lost a lot of it in the bristles of my large mixing brush. Not an awful lot of paint from the cabinet. Oh, Boy Cat's back. Hello, buddy. You okay, mate? See them being quite chilled out in here, really. On their best behaviour on the telly show. Love it. You see him down there? Is he in view? Oh, you can just see his feet. There he is, right there. Sorry guys, you wouldn't see a lot of the cats, but they're just as I thought they would be, just off screen a lot. Exploring what this really is just my anxiety levels hitting sky high, isn't it really? That's what this is all about. Yeah, I've run out of paint. That's weird. Don't know where all that paint went. I'm gonna turn that light down a bit. Oh, turn the light off. Turn it down a little bit. Try and find that happy medium. It's too dark. That's a bit better. Oh, that's so much better. There we go. No aeroplanes this time. Yeah, because Stafford can't help himself but buy everything whenever he goes away to the show. Yeah, I've never known anyone to buy aeroplanes at a tank show, at a tank museum. It was crazy. But you know what? You bought the stuff that made you happy. I commend that. Bought so much stuff. How many trips to the car park was it? Offloading the shopping. Just make sure I'm actually in the centre of the screen. I'm using the right size brush. I always have a habit of using a smaller brush than I should be. So maybe in a minute I'm going to have to mix up myself some more colour. Maybe I'll move to a larger bristle size and just see what happens. Maybe I'll have a bit more control over that. Yeah, so I'm not happy with the way that I'm actually painting. I think I need to use a larger brush. But anyway, it is time to go for a break, because if you can believe it, it's halfway through already, and I've painted some lines on 2 of my 4 miniatures. Doesn't feel like an awful lot. He's proper chilled out down there. During the break, I'm going to go and get myself an adult juice. So if you want to go and get yourself an adult juice, a grown-up juice, that's what I always call it. That's the slightly less horrendous way of saying it. I'm going to get myself a grown-up juice, an alcoholic drink for the second half, so you can come and join me if you so desire. Just going to catch up on some of the comments going in here. 2 spaced out cats pinching paint warfare. Water, damn my dyslexic fingers. I can't spell dyslexic. You can spell dyslexic. But not water. How mental is that? Really mental, mate. Just starting to paint my last 15mm German tank, says Stafford. That's nice, mate. What tank is it that you're painting? I also noticed that you got recommended by one on the Facebook group the other day. It's a huge tank, one that you definitely don't have. I don't even know what that was. But there's someone in the live chat who posted it. What was it? Do share. It was an interesting tank. A huge tank for you to get. It looks like one of those silly ones where it's like as tall as a bungalow and it's just got like huge amounts of guns in it. A silly concept, but then you've got the Sturmtiger, so he's all about silly tanks, isn't he, really? They all need reinforcement stuff. It's cat night. I have a large ginger cat on the table with me. I don't have a ginger cat. Why do you have a ginger cat if you don't have a ginger cat? Love that. It's all going a bit weird tonight, isn't it? I knew it was going to be a bit of a departure from the normal show, but well, whatever. Crumb says 500 subs, we give them catnip first. They're not really all that fussed by it, unfortunately. They do like it, but they don't go crazy. Yeah, it's not like they go absolutely wild. They just go over it. They eat it. That's what they do. They lick it up, whatever it is that you put it on. We've got like loads of scratchy pad things and stuff downstairs for them, and they like it, but they don't go nuts. So a bit of a waste of effort that if we did that, I'm afraid. So I like the idea of this going to Overlord's new game studio, doing a 12-hour stream down there. That sounds really cool. Shiv set up a camera, 50,000 views. Yeah, we could do that for sure. You give me 50,000 views, you can come on over and set up a camera. I'll even pay for it. How's that? Anyway, look, I'm just yabbering on now, and I want to get on some painting, and I'm going to go see if these guys have eaten anything. I'm also missing a cat, and that makes me feel extremely suspicious. Back in 10. Go change your paint water. See you in a minute. Bye.
Where are you, little kitty?
Welcome back. It's been a good little break, actually. Both cats are out of the studio. I've turned the overhead lights on. Let me turn it up because I was searching for cats a minute ago. Let me turn those off. There we go. I thought my head was a little bit shinier than normal. Both cats are at the studio. Girl cat's gone downstairs to have a snooze, and the boy cat was just following me around everywhere. Well, I went and got myself a grown-up juice. Happy weekend, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you guys have all had a really good week. It's a bit of an odd evening here in the studio. I've left the door open. He still could probably come back, and he probably will for a little bit later. But thank you, everybody, to get me to 200 subscribers. I know today's a bit of a funny one. It's just there for a bit of a laugh in some small way to celebrate the huge milestone that this hobby of a show has kind of come. The 200 subscribers isn't just a stepping stone onto bigger and better numbers for the YouTube hits. It's all about the fact that it's brought people together successfully, and that's what the show's all about. It's about bringing people together, uniting under the banner of a hobby that we all enjoy, and just making friends and having a laugh while we do it. That's why every show is always live. I don't do recorded shows. It's about the company, me doing a thing, struggling while you guys might be, or winning, and that's where the inspiration comes from, is when some people are struggling, others might be able to give you that little bit of a jog on, do it this way, because that will help you. And I wish people would do that more often, rather than just telling me to get the cats out, because there's something that's eaten in the corner and I don't know what it is, but I'll find out later. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah, that's a strong one, but I deliberately did it because cats. I've made up myself some more paint. I've managed to match the colour the right way. That's one of the reasons I don't like mixing my own paints, and I know that it's probably the next thing for me as a painter to do, is just get used to making my own paints. There's a lot of shows out there that I've seen on YouTube where people will suggest to you to not fall into the trap of just buying all of the paints. I did that initially to set up the show. I bought the whole game air range from Vallejo. It cost me over £200, but it was to get me on the road started, knowing that I'd eventually buy replacements of the ones that I would use and just probably take out the ones that I don't use. But there is a lot of sense in just mix the colours that you want, but I'm not very good at being able to recreate that mix. Now, I know you could say, do it in ratios, dab a brush in for a drop here or there. I use pipettes quite a lot as well, but it's time consuming, it's not always accurate, and there's that little bit of OCD that niggles just at the back of my head that says get it right every single time. And I need to defeat that demon, I think. Mixing paints is very productive, it's also very good fun, and it allows you to achieve a much more accurate spectrum of the paint colours that you can get out there. If I just bought the 3 greys that I always buy from Citadel, I'm only going to have those 3 greys. But if I was to mix them in different quantities, different ratios, then I've got every grey in between. So there is a lot to be said for that, and I need to get used to that. That's a journey in itself, though, isn't it, really? And, well, anyway, I've managed to mix the same colour again. I've made quite a bit more of it this time. I've added some thinner, I've added some flow improver, I've added quite a bit of retarder medium, so it should stay there wet and ready for me to paint with. I've also been using a slightly bigger brush, and it is better. And I know that, a bigger brush will hold more paint, which means that it will flow better, and you don't have to keep on dipping in and out, going to the palette all the time, which means that the painting process isn't interrupted as much. So do as I suggest, not as I do. And if you're painting details and those finicky little things like edge highlights and whatever, use a bigger brush and load the brush up. Don't just put a tiny bit on the end of the brush bristles. Get it into the belly of the bristles. I get some paint on it, for crying out loud. Just do it. Okay, cool. Trying to maintain that point is tricky. I mix all of my own paints, but I never recreate the same colour twice. Yeah, and you're being lolled at, and that's exactly where my drama starts, is not being able to replicate that colour. Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, remember, if you do like what we do here, or you've just enjoyed the change in the pace this evening with the cats, and you think that they're great, please do subscribe to the show. Every subscriber makes the community grow, and it makes my day when you do. So if you think you know someone who would benefit from the company that the show provides, please pass it on their way, and let's keep the train going, because 200 is a great milestone, but we shouldn't stop there. Keep subscribing. If you haven't already hammered that button, do so. Hit the little bell icon. Don't know why, just do it. Everyone else says to do it. There you go. To the workbench. Hit the bell icon. I don't want to be an influencer. I'm a content creator. It sounds so much better, doesn't it? Table of Horror says, I once thought I could mix paints, but it was just a figment of my imagination. Every week you don't disappoint, do you? Stop it. But don't, because it's great. But stop it. Right, where was I? Painting cod pieces. What a great sentence. Lead in with that next time, eh? So, painted the cod piece, but I need, let's not call it that, let's call it the groin protector. A box, maybe. This bit here is definitely a tacit. Maybe it's called something different in the modern world of armour, but I know the world of medieval armour, and I know it to be called a tacit. The dangly bit that comes down the side protects the top of the hips. It's supposed to be a pointy brush. Please be pointy. Thank you. One of the problems of it not being a very high quality model is that it is quite hard to define the edges of some of the details, like these knee pads, for example. I'm kind of having to do a best guess, so I'm more than anything, I'm just splatting the paint down, really. Oh, this is one of those areas that I forgot to paint. I'm gonna have to come back to that guy. He has shin pads, but I've painted them the green colour of his overalls, so you're going to get put to the naughty corner. You can go over there. I'll come back to you in a bit. Oh, frustrating. Moving on to the next guy then. Right. The easy bit to start with. Over the shoulders. You can see that that's quite a dull looking grey there. So if I bring a little bit of highlight to the edges of his shoulders, it just makes all the difference. Too crazy there. As I move through all these models, you're going to see different colours on the pouches, and that was a part of the testing that I was doing the other day. What colours work best? I desperately wanted to avoid brown. Whenever I'm painting sci-fi or fantasy miniatures, I always paint pouches brown, and I'm bored of it. Like, it's the done thing to do in the world of Warhammer. Paint your pouches brown, because there's leather, right? But in the SAS, they don't have colours like that. They're like ninjas. Could be black now. But I was struggling with all the different black ideas that I was doing, so I tried a brown, staining it black and seeing how that worked, and it did work. Basically, I wasn't happy with it, so yeah, I moved on from that. trying to keep that point on the paintbrush is quite difficult today. One of the things that I'm going to have to do as well is once I've done all the highlights and the greys, I'm going to do the same with the green, and I'm just going to go back to the base green because I've used that filtered grey all over the green, and it did change the colour quite drastically, so hopefully just going back to that original colour should be enough to just bring that green colour out again, just bring out those edges and make it look dead smart. That's the plan anyway. I've got a whole range of greens. I like working with green. I've done a lot of things in green in the past, orcs and space marines and historical armor and things. So I've got quite the range of greens. So if the using the base color doesn't work in the same way that this grey here didn't work, then I've got a whole range of greens to go to that I can mix together if I want. But I've got quite the range. To my paintbrush, I think. Just loosen up some of that paint that's in the bristles. I think that when I mixed the grey, I probably didn't get it as bright as that first one. No, I didn't, but it is enough just to bring those edges out. I might add a bit more of the lighter grey in there just to bring it out again, because it's a little too close, you know? So just add a tiny drop of grey in there. There we go. Let's mix that in. Let's see where that gets us. As I was painting those highlights, I'm like, oh, I can't quite see where that colour is. And when I did it the first time around, I could see it very clearly, but it wasn't too much of an eyesore. So that was definitely the right colour. And this is the problem I mean, like, even though I think I got the colour right the first time, clearly I didn't. So, yeah. And I get that it's practice, I understand that. It's just daunting, isn't it? New territory is always scary. Yeah, that's actually much better. Oh, hello, mate. You okay? Right, boy? He's back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. A bollock sling? Okay. My wife can call me that. Monetization at 1,000 subscribers, mate. That is a long way away. That is, if we project based on extrapolation of data, it's 20 years, mate. Yeah. Another 20 years on top of what we've already done. So, just saying. But maybe you've got the right methods there. I don't know. Hello, pal. You alright, mate? Yeah, that's an expensive light, isn't it? Yeah, eat it. Go on. I dare you. Cheers, pal. Dax, ladies and gentlemen. You don't like that? Don't sniff it. It's like pure ethanol. You don't want it. Yeah. Hi. You're not getting enough attention? Thanks. Love that. That's great. Oh, goodness me. It's alright, I had the perfect angles. I didn't need them. Cheers for that, mate. Are you alright? You a bit lonely? Is your sister gone to sleep? Don't drink that. It's paint water. Don't drink it. Don't drink it. I'm gonna have Peter on my backside. Stop drinking the paint water. Don't eat the miniatures. Come away from there. What's wrong with you, boy? Great. Cheers. I thought I was going to get some stuff done today, mate. Yeah, thanks for that. Cheers. Don't step in the paint, mate. Don't step in the paint. That's not coming out of the carpet, is it? Yeah. Thanks, pal. Were you not getting enough attention? Don't go over there. Come over here. Come on. You alright, mate? Yeah, sorry. You're not getting enough attention. How you doing? Well, best episode ever. Right, I'm clearly going to have to put the paint down over here. You alright, mate? Do you want to come here? Come on. Hi. Hello. Could you do me a favour and sit there? That'd be great, yeah? He's not really a lap cat. Let's see if he sits down. Oh no, it's time to give my armour clean. Thanks for that. Yep. Don't eat the miniature. I'm halfway through painting it. You. You okay, mate? He's my friend, really. I'll tell you what, if this doesn't go viral, I'm going to be very upset. I'll leave that up to you. If any of you out there are TikTokers, that would be great. Get that out there while I get my camera angles sorted out again. That, by the way, a process that normally takes me ages. It's like trying to tune your guitar in live on stage, isn't it? May I resume? No, okay, sorry. It's alright, mate. Hey, how you doing? You just want a bit of attention, don't you, mate? He is not normally this attention seeking if he's not in the studio. Normally he's out like hunting moths and things. Winding up the dogs that are walking in the neighbourhood and stuff. You okay? Being a bit of an attention seeker today, aren't you? I've got to see my fans. Right, bounce, bro. See you in a bit. Skedaddle. Right. That looks about right. No, it doesn't, does it? Oh, it's all over the place. That feels right. I can work with that. I get very OCD about it. I'm gonna have to wash my brush out. It's all dried. Thanks, Dax. Love that, mate. Where's he gone? Oh, he's behind me. Both the cats are of the persuasion where they will stand or sit in the most awkward of places. So you can't ever just roll your chair back or anything like that because they're going to be behind you. You can't just walk around freely, willy-nilly, like, you know, it's your house or anything, because you're going to step on them. When you're going up the stairs, they will run under your feet, not just like in you know, the not literal sense, like the literal sense. They will literally run under your feet like trying to be little feline roller skates, and it worries me. It's genuinely a worry. Okay, cool. Back on schedule. Where was I? Somewhere here. I hear jumping. What you doing? It's prowling. I have to say that it makes me understand exactly how much sort of concentration goes into actually running the show minute to minute, because I've never felt so distracted and not present in the show ever. He's desperately trying to get into the cupboard again, bless him. So glad I managed to shut that before the sister cat came up, because you never would have seen her again. Stop eating things, please. Thank you. Just going to take him out of the clamp so that I can just get on the inside of that weird moving leg there. Don't really care about getting highlights all over the place. I'm not being particularly precious about it. What are you doing? Yeah, I don't like those sounds, thank you. Eating Space Marines in the corner. Yeah, I'm not being particularly precious about it. I just wanted to bring a little bit of pizzazz to the quite bland colours, and I think we can all agree that grey and dark greens and things are quite bland colours. So yeah, cool. That's another one done there. Moving on to the third and semi-final one, of course, because I've got to go back and repaint the shins on that other one over there. Okay, let's wash my brush out. I should always wash your brush out regularly. Stafford says that he needs a Waz. That's got so many layers of innuendo in it, I don't know where to start. Hopefully you're talking about the Easy 8 Wazomatic at the paint mixer and not reference to any kind of toilet material. Oops, hit the... I did a Dax. I hit the camera. See, Dax, you've lowered the whole quality of the show, mate. You can't. You're not a good co-host. You're gonna have to go. I'm sorry. You're fired. That's gonna cause a sensation, isn't it? Got a little bit of dust stuck to the top of this miniature. Nope, doesn't want to come off. Is it a scratch? And paint. Oh, it looks like it. Grey. This is definitely my concentration voice. For those of you that tune in to listen to my angelic, dulcet tones, I apologise. But sometimes you need a concentration voice. You're drinking the same as last week, Danny? Yeah, absolutely. no, definitely a fresh version of it. Yeah, do you know, vodka and Coke is my sort of choice. And I do put that down to the old man who's in the live chat now. I am an ale drinker. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm going to ask for like a preference, a drinking preference, it will be a golden ale. But as a go-to every week, because I've got more of it in the house, because you can buy it in larger quantities, of course, is vodka and Coke. I just enjoy it. It's a really nice taste. I know that a lot of people, when I say that vodka is one of my faves, people go, ugh, vodka. I drink good quality vodka. I don't drink any of that Smirnoff rubbish. I don't buy Absolute. I find that to be a young person's vodka. It's just tat. Sorry, Absolute, if you're watching this, it's true. I drink higher quality ones. Grey Goose is a very expensive one. I don't drink that because it's very expensive. This comes from Lidl. If you live in Europe or in the UK, you'll know Lidl. This is a French vodka. It's very affordable, but it's a clean drink, man. It's really, really nice. And I drink Coke Zero because calories. Yeah. I'm getting older. I need to watch those sorts of things. On the serious note, I have quite a sweet tooth and I can get carried away with the sweet snacks. So I do try to limit the sugar where possible. So if I drink Coke. The only time I ever drink soft drinks as well is when I'm drinking alcohol. I'm not a soft drink drinker, again, because I like to watch what I consume. I'm not a health fanatic. I just like to take my health seriously, as I think you should do. I like to treat myself from time to time, of course. So yeah, because it's easy to have a bottle of vodka in the house, and that will last quite a while. If I'm, just having a nice drink, because it's a nice way to kind of wind down, relax, etc. Yeah, a vodka and Coke will be my tipple of choice. But I will never turn down a golden ale, a decent golden ale. Like a tribute is very nice. I like a tribute. An old golden hen's very, very nice. But my favourite is Hobgoblin Gold. It's a beautiful drink, and if you're into ales or even just enjoy them from time to time, I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it before. It's a very, very nice drink. It has the perfect balance of hoppy goodness. The background notes always remind me of happy beer garden vibes. It's just got the sort of relaxation, beer buzz, sunny afternoon with your friends kind of a flavour. Very hard to express exactly what it is I've got in my mind when I'm talking like that, but yeah, it's just a nice drink. My favourite vodka is Reka. If you've never heard of that, it's an Icelandic one. Who knew that the Icelandic were into making vodkas? I had some. It was given to me as a present, I think, originally, because I went on my first ever holiday abroad to Iceland. A wonderful country, by the way. You should definitely go. So it was kind of like a bit of a novelty. Oh yeah, you went to Iceland. Let's get you some Icelandic vodka. It's beautiful flavour. And yes, all the vodkas, whilst it is a very clean and neutral flavour, they all do taste very different, and it's a wonderful drink. But it's a limited edition, so I don't know if it's going to last. Maybe they were just testing the edges, Testing the edges. That's a mixed metaphor if ever I've heard one. Testing the waters. Maybe they were testing the edges. What was I even trying to say there? In my head, I was trying to just let that go. Just forget about that. People will think it's a well-known phrase. It's not. Testing the edges. I can see that Kez has just joined the live chat. Hi Kez, how you doing, mate? Haven't been on for a little while. I hope you're okay. I'm going to get into reading the live chat in just a second. I'm just on a bit of a roll. The paint's starting to dry up a little bit. It's quite warm in the in the studio here today as the cat is enjoying the sunset. He's proper chilled out down there, bless him. It's so warm in here. Cats love the heat, don't they? Apparently the ideal temperature for cats is 23 degrees. And I gotta say, I like a 23 degrees in the house, but up here it can be quite stuffy. Because normally I can't open up the skylights to let the air flow through, but because if I do, the cats climb in, because they know how to get onto the roof from outside. Definitely losing the point on this brush. The consistency of my mixed paint is all over the place. Well, do you know what? I've always said I'm not an expert painter. I just enjoy it. And I've got to say that these models, as they might not be the highest quality models in the world, but they are great fun, and it is really nice to do something very, very different. I said that right back when I first started this little project, just a couple of weeks ago. This is something very, very new. Normally paint high fantasy or sci-fi, or old armour like World War II. That's really my go-to. So yeah, painting SAS from 1980, really good fun. And again, the thing that I never thought that I'd really get into is the research for it all. Like that's definitely an adult thing in my head, you know. I found that when I'm doing all the historical tanks, is that you find a little detail and you're like, oh, what is that? Then you have to go away and try and type into Google, a description of something that you don't know what it is. And the only thing you've got maybe is like a panther, 1944, big lumpy square bit. Turns out it's a big chunk of wood that they used to put the lifting jacks on, because the weight of the tank just pushed the somewhat knife point shape of a jack into the ground. So you'd need to have a block to put it on, and they were often tar treated, so even though they were wood, they were often painted black. So you learn so much just from that one little thing. Like, I just find that fascinating, really, and as a young man I never would have. Let's go back and have a little look at some of the comments going in, because I can see that we're getting a bit carried away with ourselves here. Evening, or does anyone know of a good website for decals? The one I normally get them from are not good for white. Custom decals. Forgotten chapters, otherwise Etsy may have something. It totally depends on what sort of things you're looking for, but the Mighty Brush is very good. I would say that they are the premium people out there that make them, along with Forgotten Chapters. Happy hunting, yeah, absolutely. Amazon have some as well. Oh, okay, cool, worth having a look at. How much vodka have you had? Asks Stafford. Not enough, clearly. Cheers. Kez, there are cats, well, kind of in the background. Only one. She's gone downstairs for a sleep. She's had a snoop around. I'm sure she's eaten some miniatures and a part of a cardboard box. But yeah, she's gone downstairs now. Anything to help out the Innisphere or clans, but not Comtech. Screw Comtech. Comstar doesn't exist anymore in the current timeline. You take that back. I love Comstar. Your bias is showing. Huzzah! And didn't Ghost Bear migrate to the sphere and create the Rasselhag Republic? Yeah, they're my faves, because we started playing MechWarrior Online, the basically deathmatch game, team deathmatch game of MechWarrior. You have to like choose the badge of the alliances you want. I just like the idea of the Rasselhag Republic. I thought they were really cool. So yeah, they're my jam. Loads of comments going in here. BattleTech has fantastic lore. It really does. It is one of the top sort of lore games out there, along with Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer. They such a fan base. Been going for such a long time that they've just kind of created their own magnificent and huge and deep lore. And there's just tons and tons of books and novels and stuff. Go and have a look. Oh, there's loads of stuff in here. What happened to Jade Falcon? Not sure. I don't know much about that era. Oh, okay, cool. If I start reading this, I'm going to get lost in the blurb going in there. But yeah, man, I should do some BattleTech stuff on the show one day. I know that Kez has been itching on at me for ages about it, and I will. There you go. Cool. Maybe in season 5, eh? I'm going to have to wash this brush out. It's not working for me. Trying to keep a point. Keep a point here. As soon as you put the paint in it doesn't hold. Right, I'll paint again. Okay. Got to admit, I didn't think that I would be edge highlighting these miniatures. I just had it in my head that I was going to paint these colours, I was going to stain them all dark grey, it would look really good, and that would be that. And it was only because once I painted them I realised that the grey had darkened all of my very dark colours down to the point that the contrasts on the transitions had been lost entirely. So it was very much a development, like a reactionary development. And it does look smart. I do like it. It's just, I suppose it's added in a week on the show doing this. And I've got one more to paint, but as I said earlier, his shins aren't painted. So you can see here, grey, green. That's actually, you can see that they're actually like shin guards. So, I suppose it well timed that I ran out of that colour. Because now what I could do is just go straight back to the original Eshin Grey and just paint that colour back in. I'm going to go almost straight from the pot. It's quite thick paint and it needs to be diluted right down. King Crab. Yeah, an interesting choice. I like a King Crab. Slow but beefy. I used to have like just a favourite, but as I got more into the game and the back, you know, the lore, the background, or whatever, and playing various different games over the years, and being personal friends with Kez, playing the tabletop versions of the games, I started to like discover more, and there are literally hundreds of them. I found more and more that I like, and it's very hard to pick up one champion out of all of them. Yeah, it's very difficult to say. I'm not a massive fan of the big old classics like the Atlas and things like that. I find them a little bit boring, I suppose. I'm a big fan of the Raven. I like the fact that it is essentially a support mech. Like it it carries all of the software for like future warfare, like probes and UAVs and scanners and jammers and all that sort of stuff. I love it. I think it's great. And in the online video game MechWarrior Online, in Team Deathmatch, which is what that whole game is, when they first brought that mech into play, it was absolutely brilliant because you could assist the battlefield with the rest of your team and target and support and radar and things, and it was just, if I went in with a team of missile boats that you just light something up like a Christmas tree, and you would earn points rather than by making shots or confirmed kills and things, but by assisting your colleagues. What's the word? Your teammates. That's the word. Colleagues. Yeah, why not? So as they are scoring hits assisted by you, you're getting all the points for it. And somewhere along the line, they decided to nerf that. They really hit that hard with updates, and now it's almost impossible to play that style. Maybe because it's too easy. I don't know. Kind of ruined it for me, really. I quite like the Kodiak. That's quite a good mech. I also like the Victor. I recently found a love for the Annihilator because it's just immense, and its top speed is like California. It's glacial. It's tectonic. It just takes an age to get somewhere, and then you die. It's great. I was always a big fan of the Vulture, not the Mad Dog. I'm talking about the Inner Sphere version. I just think that is, I think it's like the Mark IV is very good, and it's featured heavily in MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries in the intro, and it looks very modern. It looks like sort of future tech crossed with a helicopter cockpit. It's just kind of got that military feel. It's a very good vibe. I like it. You should go check it out. Yeah. The Stone Rhino has my heart. Yeah. It's good. I like it. It's cool. Other comments going in there. Amount of taste, I see. Yeah. Madcat Mark II is my top mech, says Kez. Yeah, that is. Yeah, always has been your favourite, hasn't it? They're looking good, says Geoff. I think a grey base with a white edge for white team. Yeah. What sort of a grey would you like? Obviously, if I did the colour grey that I've been painting here, it would just all look very, very toned down. I think I could do it like a nice light grey. The grey that I was using for here, I think that'd be quite nice. And then I could do like a nice white rim on them. Excuse me. The problem is that it being pennies for bases, that would wear away quite quickly eventually. So just be aware of that. I could do it like a nice off-white, actually. A nice like an ivory colour would be quite nice. That shows up quite white on the screen there under all the lights, but if I compare it to an actual white, you can see the difference, he says. Maybe if I turn the lights down. Yeah, okay, cool. There's some options. Very easy to paint anyway. Cool. So, just going to check this guy over, make sure that I've not missed anything else out on him. I've already done the outlines on the chest piece there. There's a few other bits and pieces that I've done, so I just need to redo the legs there, really. And when it comes to the other bits that I need to paint on them, gloves, boots, mask and gun, I'm going to paint them all black. And I'm going to do my very best to highlight them grey. And I'm probably going to use that light grey. So this particular grey here, this is the one that I originally was doing for the highlight edges, but now I've been mixing it roughly 50-50 with the dark grey to create my highlights. I want there to be a very stark contrast highlight on the black pouches because the details are so small, the colour's going to be so dark. I need it to stand out, and hopefully that if I take my time with it, pick out all the edges of those pouches, the buttons, the rivets, etc., they should stand out quite nicely. You can see the one on the back there. So hopefully that colour will be right. Little black straps across the backs of the legs. I'm just going to do the black. I'm not going to worry about that too much. The guns, I will probably do the very smallest amount of dry brushing or detail picking out in silver. I don't know how I feel about doing silver highlights on guns, simply because in the real world, guns don't do that. They're not like that. I've never seen any reference to a gun that has like worn metal edges on it, unless it's absolutely ancient, like an archaic relic from World War II or World War One, because they're so old, so damaged, etc., that they've just gone that way. If you look at any modern gun, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I've seen, and I'm not a military guy at all, guns just don't get in that condition. You look after them a lot. Guns, as far as I know, aren't really painted. They are they treated? Are they like anodized? I don't know. I've just never seen a modern gun in use in an elite modern first world country force get to that state. But it's a miniature, and it needs to have representation, and it needs to be the detail of the gloves and the vest and the gun need to be separated so that to the eye they stand out. Which is why I've chosen the colours that I've chosen. The mask, the gloves, the boots, the pouches will all be highlighted grey. The gun will be highlighted soft silver, and then of course the rest of the armour is grey, and then the overalls or the jackets, etc., are green. And that should be a way of picking it all out. And like I said last time, I'm going to do the lenses in the gas masks. I'm just going to drop a little dark silver in there just to make them look reflective. That should be that. And then it's bases and we're done. I hope to have them finished by the end of next week's show. I've got a little bit of time between now and then to do a little bit of work on them, so I can kind of catch up on some of the smaller details and things like that. And this evening I'm hoping to get all of their armor highlighted, and starting on I'm gonna block in all of the black. I've done that on the first miniature. You can see that I've done his gas mask in there. I've done his gloves. I haven't done his boots on there yet. I did start painting the gun on one of them. Yeah, here you go. So I just wanted to see how the details kind of disappeared. And you can see here that even in the highlighted grey of the armour, black, it's just disappeared, it's gone. You can't see any of the details in there, so it needs to be picked out. And it might be a dry brush is the way to do that. It's a very small dry brush getting in there, so we'll see how it goes. Christoulis has joined us, very, very last minute, but hi Christoulis, nice to see you again. Maybe you've been watching throughout the evening, nice to see you again, thanks for coming along. And if you have missed it, you can always watch it on the replay. You can see the cat, he messed everything up, it was great. Too much rum, says Stafford, and I agree with Geoff, you can't have too much rum. There is if you're attempting to paint a tank. No, you are incorrect. Cheers. Anyway, we're at the end of the evening. Bang on 9 o'clock. It's been a hell of a show. He's not here. Where's he gone? I need to know. I don't know where he is. That makes me feel vulnerable and suspicious and not trusting. Anyway, let's come away from here. Where are we? Here we go. You're welcome, Staffy. You're right, it is good to see the cats. They've been very well behaved. I thought they're going to be way more chaotic, and I thought there's going to be a lot more, way more eaten miniatures. But there's still time to clean up that litter tray yet. I suppose really the cats is just a mark in the history of Easy8 and how far we've come, and it is a we. I know it's just me on the show, but it's a community. It's not. I don't make it in to be a performance. It ends up being that way sometimes, but it's just a community, and I'm not a professional YouTuber. I wish I was. I have a job outside of YouTube that I don't just love. I worship it. I would be a changed man if I ever quit that job, so I will never ever leave my job to go YouTube full time. But as YouTube grows, hopefully my professionalism grows as well, and I'm always looking for tips and hints and suggestions on improving the show, because I make it for you guys, and I say this almost every week now, that the hobby of YouTube presentation and painting miniatures are one and the same thing. They come together now, and whenever I talk to my friends outside of the show, I always talk about them as a united thing. So yeah, it is the same thing for me now. But I do it to bring people together. I do it to make friends. I do it to kind of unite model painters out there all over the place. So if you know someone who you think would benefit from this show or just be entertained by it in some way, please extend them an invitation and get them to subscribe, because like we've been talking about during the show, the next milestone really now, is 500 subscribers. And at this point I want to make a massive shout out to John Takacs over at Out of This World Models and Minis. There's a link down there along with a host of a whole load of others. Please go and check them out, because he has just managed to make it to 1,000 subscribers. And Out of This World Models and Minis and Easy have been going for roughly the same sort of time. And he's just a really stellar guy. He's a stand-up gent, and he just paints whatever he wants to paint at any time, and he's just really good at it. I've watched the guy grow and improve over the years, and he's just really nice, and he deserves your attention and your love. And 1,000 subscribers, he's done it. He's hit the landmark number. So congratulations to you, John. I feel really happy for you. It's Easy 8's time now, so stop stealing my limelight. How dare you? Shut up and eat your Marmite. Yeah, there's a throwback for you. Honestly though, well done to you, and here's to Easy 8, hopefully one day making 1,000 subscribers. Next landmark is 500. Before then, of course, we've got the 200th episode to go, or the 5-year mark to go. We're about to enter year 5. So I'm all up for suggestions on things to do as we start hitting those extra milestones along the way. The biggest thing that you can do for me, of course, is subscribe to the show. So if you haven't done that already, hit that subscribe button, do the bell icon, because why not? I'll tell you what, I'll give you a second, hit the thumbs up button, do that for me now. Go on. I'll finish my drink so I can't drink while you're doing that. If you just hit that thumbs up button, do it, go on, you know what to do, that'd be great. Oh, there's a little drop in there. And share. Maybe get on Takacs, whatever it is nowadays, and make snippets of this show and show my cats and their destructive prowess off to the whole world, because that is how this show is going to grow, is by you guys sharing it out there as well. We're not just here on YouTube, of course, we're on Facebook. You can join us over there if you've been painting something this evening. I'd love to know about it. Take photos if you're so inclined and stick them up all over there. Dancing girls, we say this every week. Come on now. If you want to get dancing girls, but take photos of them and put them up on Facebook. You can also put photos up on Discord as well, where I'm going to be at the end of tonight's show and hopefully every other show. So if you want to, there's a link down there in the description. Someone tried to join it last week and they struggled getting in there. If you follow that link down there, when you go to Discord, if you're not familiar with it at all, down the left hand side there's like a list of lots of different rooms if you want, and one of them is the rules. Just react to the rules, put a little thumbs up, and that tells Discord that yeah, I agree to the terms and conditions that Danny Easy 8 has put in there. And it's the same stuff. It's like, don't be rude, don't be racist, and you know, things like that, all the sensible normal human stuff. All right. And then if you carry on scrolling down, there's some little video rooms down there, and one of them is called the Easy 8 After Party. Come to that, and that's where we're hanging out. You don't require any more than that. I don't think you even need to sign up to Discord. I can't remember, but it's a very, very easy process. So if you want to come along and join in a little video chat, or just type along and just listen to us, then you can do that as well, whatever. So the show carries on after the show. North Devon Model Show this weekend. When is Recon? Recon's coming. Don't worry about Recon right now. What you need to know about is this weekend is it Sunday? Is the North Devon Model Show. Go along to that. Easy 8 will be going. I won't be, but the inner council will be going. You should definitely go along and see those guys and look at the wonderful models over there. The following weekend, so the 25th. I said the 5th for the model show. It's not the 5th, but it is this Sunday. The 25th, which is not this Sunday, the next Sunday. We're hoping to go to the Tank Museum in Bovington, so if you want to come along to that, that'll be awesome. It'll be great to get the gang back together again and go along and just look at all the really cool tanks that we've seen 100 times, but I just can't get enough of it. I love that place, and they started responding to some of the little things I started putting up on the Easy 8 Facebook page, so that's nice, isn't it? Getting connected that way. Yeah, and then Recon in December. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that more as the year goes on. Do I believe in life after love? I don't really like that song. Why are we talking about share? What's that? Oh, was that share or share? Whichever, mate. Yeah. If I could turn back time, I would. I'm losing the plot. Gotta go find my cats. It's been lovely to have you along tonight, Poppington. It's been lovely. Thank you very much for joining me today. And until next week, stay safe, be kind, keep on painting, get some colour on your grey plastic, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. Bye! Do you know what now? For about 18 months, I've had a catchphrase and I've not once ever remembered to say it. And that's the first time I've ever said it on a show. Get some colour on your grey. Now, where's that cat?